Hello, everybody. Now it's our morning ramble, but today I just feel, since yesterday we didn't really have much to talk about, I felt like I needed to talk about something a lot of you have been asking me about. I don't know why, because Argos is one of those characters that I kind of made back in the day. He was OP, but then I gave him a story and reasons why he is so powerful. But I'm not even here to talk about those. I'm talking about the last story I written for Argos before him going into hibernation and being in Xenoverse. Okay, now I'd say he. I'm like, remember, this is like way before Battle Gods became an actual thing. So I need you guys to keep that in mind, okay? Because in my story, him and Goku and Vegeta are like the most powerful pure-blooded Saiyans. Like the three of them are, like same. But okay. This this story arc was called the Revenge, the Revenge of Frieza. And this is before I found out Frieza doesn't actually have a mother, so just roll with me. Just roll with me on this. So, anyways, so 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 a spaceship starts to hover around Earth, and as that spaceship hovers, it lands kind of smack dab, not where Goku and Vegeta lives, where Argos lives. A whole bunch of soldiers pop on out, and they go, "You're a Saiyan. Who may you be?" And Argos looks at the two soldiers. And he goes, "That that piece of armor. Would I be mistaken to say you're part of you're part of the you're part of the House of Shield army? Basically, basically Frieza's army." Well, no. They go, "Well, no. We work for his mother." And trust me, guys, seriously, just roll with me on the fact that Frieza has a mother in this story. Again, I just thought, it's probably I think, and I barely remember this, but I think it's because it spawned out of that one line from Dragon Ball Z that always, like, Frieza always says, like, "I've never experienced this amount of pain since my parents," and I know it's a dubbing mistake, but I rolled with it because I thought it was an actual thing. This is before the manga. This is before I read the manga, so don't toss your hate at me. Any case, and he goes like, "Freeze," and then Argos goes, "Frieza has a mother." I thought they asexually reproduce. I mean, they're lizards, right? So it makes sense. And basically, basically a whole bunch of, other than the banter, a whole bunch of soldiers pop out. Argos beats the shit out of them with like zero effort. Like seriously, he's just knocking them all back. It is like they're all surrounding him, but he's knocking them all back. He's smacking them around with his tail. He's going like, all you guys are freaking flies, you know? It's not even hard. I'm not even fighting you with my actual power. Just my tail. Just my tail. And he just keeps going over and over and over, just smacking them around one by one by one. And then he, and he's sort of different Arcosian or Ice Jin or Frieza's race. I like to call them Ice Gens or Icosians because at least they actually have a name. My cousin says, "Why do you Dragon Ball Z fans have to be so politically correct?" I'm like, because calling them Frieza's race is just kind of because there's more than just Frieza. There's more than just Frieza. So I like to call it. But in this case, I called them Ice Gens. So basically, she bumps up and she says, "Well, another Saiyan monkey that are you the Saiyan that killed my family?" And he goes like, "No, but I do know who. But I do know who did. Will you take me to them?" "Well, I could." And then Argos goes, "Well, I could, but I'm not evil. So, if you don't want to get beat down, you would kindly get off this planet, or trust me, this will get more ugly than you could ever possibly imagine." So she's threatened. She wasn't even taken back by this. She was ready to fight, and Argos was ready to go. But he then started to test her power. He went he he went a couple rounds with her. He wasn't really like she wasn't really that powerful. You think and some part of you guys would be like, you think she'd be a little bit more powerful than Frieza. But no, she wasn't. So only Argos used 5% of his power. And that 5% was enough to beat Frieza's mother, which he did. I'm remembering things in reverse, but she did proclaim her name to be Freezy. Don't freaking axe. I just said, okay, Cooler, King Cold, Frieza, Freezy. So, basically, actually I had a dart, I think I had it. Yeah, it was a dartboard. I freaking picked the name off of a dartboard anyways. So, and then, so, she says, she probably beats him, but he wasn't really able to finish her because she freaking blinded him with some sand because they were out in the desert. And she said, "I will be back with a full invasion, and I will find the Saiyan that killed my family." And Argos yells off as she flies off, "Coward! Finish this!" And things weren't eventful for a while. Argos was still training both his body and mind. Yes, he's the only, to me, he's the only Saiyan that's truly actually both brains and brawn at the same time. Like freaking Vegeta, to me, is somewhat smart. Goku, well, dumber the sack of hammers out. And don't get me wrong, like I said, I love Goku. But, there's never been a Saiyan that has been smart and, and strong at the same time. It's either one or the other, so I wanted him to be both. Okay, before we get to the good stuff, let me talk about his training regimen. He fights with artificial holograms that actually can touch. And they always take the form of either him, Vegeta, or Goku. Or even past enemies he fought. And with this, he gets faster, stronger. He's more durable. And sometimes he'll train to combat certain forms of poison. Not all of them, mind you, just the ones he knows. People, the villains or whatever, whoever comes to the Earth will normally use. How does he know that? He just kind of takes a vast variety of poison throughout the galaxy and just tests himself with it. If it don't kill him, it will make him even stronger. So, also he visits Goku and the others on the regular. Some, you know, but we all know how he really feels about Vegeta because Vegeta, like, he was a kind person on planet Vegeta with with a freaking with a bunch of he's on a planet where a bunch of Saiyans that only cared about fighting when he actually cared about, like, actually helping people. And that wasn't really, again, that wasn't really a part of the that wasn't really part of what Saiyans believed in, because they believed in being, cruel, brutish savages. But there was a half of the Saiyans that were like that because King Vegeta ruled them, and then there was another half. There was another half that wanted to kind of help people and stuff. They were like goods. They were good Saiyans, and yes, I actually added the Super Saiyan God stuff in the canon, but I'm not really going to talk about that. This is just back in the day before Battle of Gods, before I freaking revisioned everything for Xenoverse. So, anyways, but Vegeta, Vegeta and Argos really don't really like each other because he always calls Vegeta worthless, but not because he's not strong. It's because he always fight. To him, he always thinks he fights for the wrong reasons. He always says, "You always fight solely to surpass Goku and me, and you never have any. You don't really have a lot of stuff to fight for." And this is like before the. This is like, I would say, after the Cell Saga, but before the Majin Buu Saga starts, and he goes like, "You never had anything to fight for because everything to you is just one little notch in your belt to try and beat me in Kakarot, and it's not gonna work. You always like freaking surpassing people, but you're never gonna get there." And he goes like, "You know why? Because one, you still act like a prince brat, and two, you really don't have anything to fight for." Yeah, that's just I mentioned that. So, anyways, a year passes. Then that same ship actually comes down to where Goku and Vegeta are training at the time. And did I tell you this takes place after GT? Yeah, I put him in the GT continuity. But yeah, he's in the GT continuity. So everybody's training. Goku's training Oob. Goku's training Oob. Vegeta. Vegeta has been, and this is when when Vegeta really started to change. But so they all sense a power level that's even than higher than higher than Omega Shinron's. And they look up at the sky, and then there's the ship drops down. He's like, so he goes, "So you must be Goku, and the Prince of all Saiyans over there is Vegeta. Well, I've started a full-scale invasion. We're gonna start a full-scale invasion, and I will take over." And Vegeta's like, So, judging by your voice, you must be one of Frieza's family members." And he's like, "Who are you? Who are you?" "His aunt, his uncle." And then she goes, "I'm his mother." And then they all go, "Oh." Frieza had a mother? Just like they're just like awestruck by the fact that Frieza has a mother. Dude, also Frieza has a son. I'm a little awestruck by that too. Not my point. Maybe I should have just made it about his son. That'd have been easier. So Frieza is able is able to not only beat almost take over the she almost takes over the whole world, but the last remaining people who can fight are Goku, Vegeta got scratched in the. Vegeta got one of his eyes gouged out, so he kind of looks like a pirate with a little eye patch and a beard to match it. And when Argos actually finally comes and gets ready to fight Freezy, and because he was training Pan, I forgot to say he was training Pan after the year when Freezy attacked him at his home. He was training with Pan for like a year. Getting her ready because even though she was a half Saiyan, he felt like even though she was like 1/4 Saiyan or whatever, however you wanna go at it, he still wanted to train her. And to be quite honest, Pan did have a crush on him, so that was contributive of him and her kind of training together. Though he really didn't like mind the fact he really didn't know that she had a crush on him, but still. So, anyways, so they all get ready to fight They all get ready to fight Freezy. It's like Argos goes like, Pan, remember what I taught you. She's gotten a lot. Frieza's gotten a lot more powerful than the last time I fought her. And if she's anything like Frieza, she won't hesitate to blow up this planet just to preserve the fact that she wins. So I'm about to go. I'm about to go to ascend mode. So get ready for some real fireworks. I would do the whole thing, but it's early in the morning, so I gotta be careful with that. So it's like, and then his aura is completely like silver. It's sort of like going Super Saiyan God before I knew Super Saiyan God was a thing. Before Super Saiyan God was even a thing, I just kind of made my own little above thing, which was kind of like Super Saiyan God. Except you didn't need like 6 pure-hearted Saiyans for it. You could just if you it's like if like I guess it's only I guess the way I written it, it was only special to Argos's bloodline because his blood, because his family, unlike Vegeta's, had pure hearts. They cared about people, so he was able to do it because basically they're good and Vegeta's whole family was fucking evil. So then Vegeta looks and goes, "How? What even is that form? And I can't believe I'm surpassed again." And Goku's like, and Goku looks and says, "Wow." He goes like, "What do you call that form?" And freaking Argos goes like, "This is my Sen form." It's kind of a level above and beyond Super Saiyan 4. But since you're good, Goku, I guess you can learn it too. I'll probably it's easy. It's kind of like going. It's kind of like using Super Saiyan 4, but you may have a little bit of trouble using it. But here's a prompt that might help you before we fight this. Before we fight this thing, just think about our bloodline. Think about our bloodline, and pretty much that's the key. You know, Goku's only able to hold that form for like about 8 minutes tops. But since Argos has been training with it all his life, he can hold it a lot longer. So they're fighting Frieza's most powerful warriors, and they all are they all are Ice Jins or Koshins. They're all fighting the Z Warriors, which are a lot stronger, and they actually even Yamcha's kicking butt. Yamcha is kicking ass, and then Free. So Frieza is actually fighting Goku, both Goku and Vegeta and Argos at the same time because she can clone herself by they can it's kind of like a gecko. She cuts a little piece of herself and boom, there's like two of her. And he's like, so again, he's having so they're not really they're having it's kind of difficult because Frieza is that powerful. Not even going in Sin mode is even denting her. It's like ugh, ow, why? Ugh. Okay, nothing I'm doing right now is even denting her. What is even going on right now? And Vegeta is like, well, here looks like your sin. He goes like, looks like your sin form is a dud. And and then freaking Argos goes, don't you say a word. At least I'm training. At least I didn't have to. At least I didn't have to use my own. At least I didn't use. At least I didn't have a wife that made me into a Super Saiyan 4. I had to earn this. You couldn't earn this on your own. And Goku was like, you two. Goku was like, guys, this is not really the right time for you two to be bickering. And then basically Goku basically says Goku basically says, you three, it's time to do it. We need to do something that I've developed called a 3-man fusion. And Argos was very perplexed by this. Like, he was like, 3-man fusion? Can that even work? I mean, so how's this supposed to go? Like, you and Vegeta fuse, then I fuse with... do I fuse with Gogeta? How does that work? Which technically, yeah, that's basically how it works. So... And trust me, they were struggling throughout this whole entire battle. They thought they had the upper hand with Frieza before. Then she split herself into two. Then she split herself into like three, and then it got really, really difficult. So this fight, they do the 3-man fusion or the Mediterranean fusion. I hope I'm saying it right. So they do it, and basically they become. And they don't even use. I didn't even use the name combination for this. They become. they become. What did I call the three-man fusion? Because I didn't use the name. Them combining their names. Um, I guess he was called Light or something. I forget. But Freezy's like, you think the three of you fusing together will stop me? I will have my revenge. And then, but with the power of Vegeta, Argos, and Goku, they, with their powers all combined together, they boost beyond the first Ascend form and straight on. Like, there's like a Ascend mode 2, which is a lot more powerful than the first one. And it's it's like the aura itself is like a giant, like kind of a, it has like a rainbowish kind of tint to it. It's, I mean, it's hard to explain because I remember it, but I don't have the actual like piece of paper that I actually wrote it on, that I typed this up in. So it had a rainbow hue with kind of like a sparkly thing, kind of like how Gogeta was, yeah. And then he's like, you really think you using turning on rainbow can defeat me? And then, unlike that fight between Omega Shenron, since Argos technically is the dominant personality, he's like, nah, nah, nah. The Gogeta, nah. That happened when the two that's inside me fused. Nah, nah. Because you know what? The guy who, the guy who's the head honcho is Argos, and you know what he's making me do? I'm gonna just destroy you outright. And then so she gets scared in typical almost almost Frieza fashion and destroys the earth. Doing the whole Frieza thing, going like, yes, you will never beat me, ha ha ha, I can breathe into space. So she throws it up, and Light, he just he grabs it. He's like, oh, oh, the Sin 2 is running out. He's like, everybody, give me your energy. We don't have enough time for this. So everybody gives him his energy. Everybody on the earth. And he's like, but before he do that, he's like, Pan goes to everybody. Basically tells everybody, like, they are, unlike my grandpa, there's a man trying to save the entire world, hell, the entire universe. So you need to give him his energy. He's like, and one dude's like, well, he's not Hercule, and then freaking Light goes, and I am not freak. I think I put this in, but if I didn't, hey, it was like, forget Hercule. The ones that's been saving your world has been Goku, always Goku, or his son, or anybody else. But you guys always want to put your faith in freaking Mr. Satan. Do you understand that this is dire? Hercule is gonna save you. I am. So they give him the energy. They put their hands up in the air. Like they just don't care. And he basically has enough energy to not only push it back, but he uses the last bit of his ascend mode to basically push the death ball out of time and space. He really does this. And then then after they defuse, because that like took like what? Since the three of them are in there, it's more like 30 minutes. They defuse after 30 minutes, which was enough time. Like everybody, like if I remember correctly, everybody was fighting in this one. Like everybody, even Launch. I don't know why, but I made Launch kind of have her moment where she's fighting everybody because she was not really a big part of Z, and I just felt kind of bad not including her. I mean, Akira just forgot she existed, but I didn't. I was like, let Launch have some fun. Even Yamcha had a choice line that I still remember it, which is basically my thing to all the fans that think he's weak. He's like, he basically looks at this was animated. He'd look at like the fourth wall and be like, "Am I weak now? Am I weak now, guys? Am I weak now?" And basically that's how that went. And then the dragon comes. The dragon comes and like Goku is alerted that the dragon acts, and the dragon basically speaks through Goku. He basically speaks through Goku and says like somewhere in another time in another place someone is wishing for you with the Dragon Balls. So you must go and protect the multiverse. And that's how Argos is in Xenoverse, technically. It was after the fight with, it was basically after the fight with Freezy. And basically that's what happened. And then Toa, Mira was like his strongest. Mira was stronger than Freezy, so yeah. There's that. So basically, and Pan was aged up considerably for this scene, just so that can happen. And basically, Pan like freaking like before August is even like gone. She kisses him. He goes like, Pan. I mean, why did you do that? And she basically said she loved him. She basically said she loved him, and it's like, well then, I guess I got to go. Okay, Shinra, let's go. I mean, eventually he does actually come. Eventually, after Xenoverse 1, he eventually does come back, but he still has ties with being a time patroller. So whenever Trunks or the Supreme Kai Time actually needs him, he'll go right away back to Toki City and be like, "Hey guys, what you need?" He doesn't really marry Pan, even though time moved way fast in his time than it does in Toki City. So it was like a few years when he came back, and Pan was waiting for him. Like she was like what? She was like 20, 25. Argos is like 28, somewhere around that. So they do get together, but they don't really get married, so to speak. Wait a minute. No, they don't get together, but I mean they get together, but they don't get married. Like whatever, like when Xenoverse 2 comes out, I'm gonna probably determine whether that happens or not. But yeah, but guys, for the rest of you, I do ship freaking Supreme Kai Time and Trunks and Time Patrol Trunks together. Because, guys, come on. I'm a shipping buster. It's what I do. It's what I do. I hope you guys like this story of my morning ramble. I just thought it'd be nice for you guys to kind of hear that. I did cut down on a lot of things because I didn't want to bore you with every little bit of everything. But Argos, okay, Argos at the end of the universe was Argos said, like, before he went into Xenoverse, he was about as powerful as, I would say, Omega Shenron. And Freezy was as powerful as, about as powerful as she was about as powerful as the about as powerful if you combined Broly with freaking Super Boo, when you combine Kid Boo, Broly, freaking Lord Slug, Cell, Frieza and Cooler and King Cold all together into one, like, almost about as powerful as Goku was before he left. Like, there's a big thing. He left, but he came back because Frieza was coming, and he warned everybody, and that's pretty much how that started. And a lot of people say, like, how did you feel about the whole Vegeta suicide thing in, like, Dragon Ball AF? I don't like it. It just, I mean, I don't see Vegeta being as proud as he is. I mean, I know he can cry, but I don't think he'd really kill himself just because he wants to fight Kakarot. I mean, there'd be some subtext there that we're not technically getting, if you catch my drift. But basically, I think Vegeta would actually, if GT continued on, I think Vegeta would be the protector of Earth. He'd be the protector of Earth, not Goku, because Goku's gone. So I feel like that's what will happen. And a lot of people ask, like, if Argos was in New Age, what would happen? Freaking Rigger would get his... Rigger and freaking Argos would beat... It would be a very vicious battle between Argos and Rigger. Yeah, I ain't even kidding. They'd freaking... They would be kind of similar in strength, because at this... If we're going by after Xenoverse logic, he'd be more strong enough to take on... He'd be kind of strong enough to take on Rigger, but I don't think he'd be strong enough to actually put him down. Probably. Maybe he would, maybe he wouldn't. I don't have a really good estimation of Rigger's full power, so I don't really technically know how that would play out. I don't think Argos would, like, totally dominate him, but I feel like he'd have a little bit of trouble fighting Rigger. Like, I just see him coming and he's like, smacking around. He'd be like, so you smacking around Vegeta, eh? Hey, you know I know who you are. And he goes like, who are you? He's like, I'm the second Prince of All Saiyans, motherfucker. And I know that King Vegeta had sex with some chick and Vegeta killed her. And now you want revenge. Vegeta, after this, I am so beating the shit out of you. Just saying. Just saying, man. And he just takes off his geese like, you wanna go? You wanna go, Ricker? Let's go. Like, that's how I feel it would start. Because him, because he has a little bit more respect for Vegeta, but he basically said he's gonna beat the shit out of him because he's like, Vegeta, I know you were horrible as a kid. He doesn't really beat the shit out of him. If Argos actually won that fight, he'd be like, Vegeta, you were fucked up as a kid. Is there any other person you freaking destroyed? Any person that was our race that wants a vengeance against you? So next time I can come a little quicker. But yeah, I don't really know how. I know Argos' abilities. I know his capabilities. I know his limits. But I think even Rigger would probably push him to his absolute limit. You know, he would probably go all the way to a Sin 3, and that not even my character can control that form. He'd only be able to like have it for at least about 8 minutes. 8 minutes, but that wouldn't be enough to stop Rigger because after he uses it, he'd be completely defenseless. Rigger could totally beat him he could totally beat him because I saw how he freaking destroyed Oob, snapped his neck. Again, I wouldn't say that Argos is like OP or too powerful or even remotely close to Beerus' level. But he's close to Gogeta's, basically. But yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, again, I just don't know if, like, Argos would have enough power to actually put Ricker down. He'd have enough to, like, tire him out. But he wouldn't have enough to, like, I don't think he'd have enough to literally put him down. Now, if Goku and Vegeta and Argos do a 3-man fusion, maybe there's a chance in there. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not really entirely sure. But yeah, that's the thing. I just don't know Rigger's limits really because he is mud stomping. If you read New Age, he is beating. He killed Oob and he is beating Goku and Vegeta. And they're fused now, so we're going to see how that goes when the other chapter is released. So, yeah. I'll see you guys later, though. Thank you for listening to my morning ramble. And you're probably wondering why An isn't here. He told me, he was like, Bugsy, I'm gonna make food so good people orgasm. So he's been in the kitchen for like a good 50 minutes. So yeah, see you guys later.